Hello from Michigan.
So everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make rattlesnake fries. Let's get started. Alright, here's all the ingredients. First off, you're going to need steak. You can use flank steak. I'm using top sirloin. I'm going to be using seasoning, taco seasoning. I got the less sodium because I can't have the salt. Here's the fries. Fries I'm going to be using extra crispy. These fries do have a coating like rice flour and modified like starch and stuff on the outside, so they will get extra crispy. And here's all the other stuff you'll need too. See, I'll start out with this real quick. It says garlic jalapeno on it. You gonna focus on it? But if you read the ingredients, which I don't know if I'll focus on that or not, it has a lot more than just garlic in it. Like onion powder, garlic powder, yeast extract, jalapeno. Then there's spices and stuff on it too. So I'm gonna be using that. And as you can tell, seasoning is not red in any color, so I am going to be adding smoked paprika. Also add that for color and flavor. Sauce, going to be using a little bit of cream. I guess you could use cream cheese, make it creamy. Sour cream, mayonnaise. There's the cheese I'm going to be using also for the fries, jalapeno cheese. And then for the seasoning for the fries, because nacho fries from Taco Bell come seasoned, so I'm going to use sriracha, a little bit of seasoning salt, and for a little bit extra color, this is regular paprika, not smoked. Oh yeah, I forgot jalapenos. Jalapenos go on it too. Got the 2 bowls for make the sauce and marinate the steak. Spoon and fork for mixing and whatever. So I'm gonna get to the steak first. So I'm gonna get to slicing it up so I can marinate with the seasoning for, I say, a couple hours probably. I'll probably end up making it as soon as possible. So let's get started on the steak. Alright, get the steak going. We'll be using this. You can make your own taco seasoning. It's pretty simple anyway. Alright, basically just gonna slice this up. That's what I gotta do. I'm gonna use all of it. And the steak has been sitting out to get room temperature too. So, sharp knife. Start slicing. Like, I don't want it on the thin side so it's not gonna be too chewy. Top sirloin does have decent marbling in it. You can see the strains of fat in it and stuff, which is good. Gives a good flavor. Any other steak that doesn't have that decent amount of marbling on it probably wouldn't be too good. Because fat is where the flavor is. And let's look. Well, I guess I can cut the long pieces in half. That's a good size. These are a good size. So I was gonna cut this in half. Time for the taco seasoning. I'm not gonna use all of this because it's only probably like a ½ pound of meat. This is seasoning pack usually for ground beef for a pound anyway. So I always give it a good shake like that to get it all at the bottom. Let's tear this open. You can always use this taco seasoning that you like. If you want to make your own, make your own. I do have the stuff to make it my own, but I don't feel like it. I use what I got in the house anyway. So I'm just going to use a little bit at a time. It smells pretty good. Let's mix this up. I don't want to over season this steak either, because I know it's Taco Bell's steak and stuff is seasoned, but it's not really strong. Make sure every little piece gets mixed with some seasoning. Looks like there's chunks of garlic or onion on this brand. Grocery brand, Myers. Use a little bit more. And I'm going to save the rest of this for another meal. I'm going to make probably chicken quesadillas or something with this later. So I will save the rest of that. So as the steak marinates, we're going to jump into the sauce, because the sauce needs to get ready too. The next thing you need is your sour cream, spoon for the mayonnaise. I'm just gonna make a little, I'm gonna make enough sauce for the nacho fries, and I probably will make the burrito maybe, I don't know. So mayonnaise, using 2 small tablespoons. Sour cream, almost equal parts of sour cream to mayonnaise at least. A little bit more. Hands are clean. I just washed them, so I'll get all the sour cream out of there. All right, next is the garlic jalapeno. Like I said, we mentioned before, there's a lot more than just garlic in it. I don't know if it's gonna focus or not on it. I did taste it. It is on a spicy side. So how much I'm gonna add, I don't know. I add enough to probably a tablespoon at first. Don't add too much. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. So probably about 2 tablespoons. Or 1 big tablespoon of seasoning. And so far, it doesn't look like Taco Bell's creamy jalapeno dip or sauce or whatever you want to call it. So this is when this comes in handy. Smoked paprika, because I remember the sauce being the smoky flavor to it. So I'm just going to add this a little bit at a time. Might not turn exactly orange because I'm pretty sure Taco Bell probably uses food coloring. I don't have any orange food coloring on hand. More of this. And one more thing, you can take a little bit of the juice from the peppers, not the actual pepper, for a little bit of vinegar. So I'm just going to barely pour some in here, like to thin out the liquid a little bit, make it more of a sauce and actually like a potato chip dip. Of course I have to clean the jar on the counter because I end up spilling it because it's not easy to pour out of there. I don't have any vinegar, so I'm just using what I got in house. And definitely nice and creamy. I think it needs a little bit more pickle juice or jalapeno juice. Nice and tangy, creamy. I might add a little bit more paprika to it. Seems like it's missing something. Hang on a second. It's not spicy enough, so I'm going to add some red cayenne pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of that to it. Also, it might help with the color too. So if you don't like it spicy, don't add too much of this because this is pretty much ground up pepper flakes for the most part. Mayonnaise and the sour cream, the fat content, it's hard to get the heat up there because fat hides heatness, and sugar because there's sugar in the seasoning. So season to taste. That's pretty much all you got to do. Alright, my sauce, I can do whatever I want with it. That's pretty good. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. Kind of like a medium skillet, but use whatever butter. This is the European. It's like 85% fat. I think the regular stuff's only like 75% fat. Butter, so I'm gonna use about a tablespoon. Get this melted up. Since there's hardly any fat in the steak, I'm gonna use a little bit of butter. And you have the steak. This has already been like marinating in the seasoning. Just throw it in there, all of it. I'm going to cook the steak. You can cook it medium or whatever, or cook it all the way through, whatever how you like your steak. I'm going to go with the Taco Bell route and cook the steak all the way through. I'll turn the heat down. I don't want to get the steak a crust or anything on it. I just want to cook the steak. I don't want to give it like a caramelized crust or anything. We'll sear it up a little bit. So pretty much what I do is cook up the steak. And now when the steak's done, you let the steak sit on the stove in the pan and then get the french fries going. So I'll be back to show you the next step of the french fries. Got the deep fryer preheated already, the 350. So open this up. You make a lot of fries or a little bit of fries, depending on how hungry you are. Probably make probably a third of the bag of fries. You can deep fry these, oven bake them. If you got an air fryer, you can do the same thing. They don't have directions for air frying, so I guess same thing like baking, whatever. So I'm just gonna do a single layer in the basket of my deep fryer. Let them cook. So while those are cooking, steak didn't shrink as much, so I'm gonna take a little bit out of here. Probably use half because I want some for another recipe for another date, future. So the example that there's like too big. That's probably good enough for the fries. Cause I'm gonna cut that up. I guess you could use the tongs because the meat is gonna be hot. So I'm just gonna put it that way. And just chop it up, bite-sized pieces. I did cook it about medium. It is nice and tender. So I'm gonna finish chopping this up, and I'll be back to plate with the fries. I got my fancy plate out too. I don't have any other container to put the fries on, so I'll show you how to season up the fries because Taco Bell fries are seasoned. So I'll show you that part next. All right, fries are done. I pulled them out already, but you're gonna need a stainless steel bowl to put them in. You don't want to drain the grease out of them either. A little bit. So you want the seasoning to stick. So what you're going to do is take your French fries. So I'm in a stainless steel container. Alright. I'll do that. I don't take a bad angle. Alright, start with the sriracha powder. Throw some of that on there. With the paprika. For color. And you don't need that much seasoning salt because these fries actually have a little bit of salt in them already. You can adjust if you want more seasoning on it. You can do that. I wouldn't put any no more seasoning salt on it. So that's it for that. It's pretty simple. Close up. Nice and orange. You can see plenty of seasoning on it. And it smells pretty good. If you don't have those seasonings that I showed or put on it, you can put regular salt, or you can use taco seasoning if you want. Which I don't know, I might add a little bit of taco seasoning. Let me open this up. Let's add a little bit. I'm not gonna add a whole lot. Just to kick it up just a notch a little bit more. But if all you got is taco seasoning, use it. We've got taco seasoning, you know, from scratch. You can use that too. So basically, just take my French fries, put them on there, nice and hot. And I don't have I don't want to waste this seasoning either. Like the best part. Get all the seasoning out of here on the fries. Alright, next step is the best brand to get is the jalapeno cheese from Frito-Lay. It's the closest thing that you're going to get for nacho cheese. And this is what it looks like. I already been dipping nachos in it, whatever. But I am going to microwave it. So I do have a container here to warm it up because this was refrigerated. I need a little bit. I'm going to save some for the burrito. Microwave that for a couple of seconds. Nice and hot now. So take your nacho cheese. Nice and warmed up. And you start drizzling this on there, your nacho fries. Get all the cheese. Make sure you get everything off the spoon. You don't have to use jalapeno cheese if you don't want to. Alright, time for the steak. So just pile this up. Next is some jalapenos. You can use the mild. I'm using the actual hot variety, which still has the seeds like in the actual peppers and the jar and stuff. You can see the jalapenos in there with the seeds and stuff. So you can add little or less. So I'm just gonna some jalapenos in here. And I know I'm not forgetting the sauce. It's still in the refrigerator chilling. I'll load it up since Taco Bell doesn't. Or you can ask for extra. I'm just saying, you know, it seems like restaurants skimp on stuff. Alright, here's the jalapeno cream sauce. I did taste it. It is spicy. I guess I'd use a fork. And just put your sauce on here. Spoon probably would have been better so I can drizzle it. But the sauce did thicken up in the refrigerator because it was sitting there for a little bit marinating. I did doctor up a little bit more with more seasoning. You had to do it by taste. Everything else, that's how cooking goes. I don't measure out stuff, you know, it's all in my brain anyway. So, and you couldn't put extra sour cream on it, but this sauce already has a creamy flavor to it. It's sour cream anyway. And I'm not using all of this. I'm going to be making a nacho burrito or the rattlesnake burrito later for another video. So that's it, pretty much about it. I guess thumbnail. I guess that's zoom in more for a thumbnail maybe. Get out of the shot, get a better center. You can see the medium steak on there. It's actually pretty good. Medium steak, jalapeno sauce. Let it cool off a little bit because the fries are probably still hot. And I'll be back to do a taste test on this to see if it's actually awesome or not. It should be. But here's the nacho fries, or the rattlesnake fries, my bad. Smell pretty good, look pretty good. Fries are still kind of hot still. I can feel it from the bottom of the plate here. So I'm not exactly going to review it, but I am going to get a little bit of everything. So jalapeno, steak, fries. Make sure I get sauce. Fries are actually crispy, unlike Taco Bell. Sometimes they're soggy. So I got a little bit of everything. Not giving it a rating or a food review or anything like that. I'm just giving it a try. See if it's actually any good. So cheers everybody. Wow, that's actually good. Steak is nice and tender. Fries are nice and crispy. I know I said I won't really actually review it, but it was actually pretty good. I can say mine's probably a little bit better than Taco Bell, but it's about the same. So if you do want to make this at home, you still can. You can use any fries you want. You can make your own fries from, you know, scratch, or if you want waffle fries, you can get those. You know, steak fries, crinkle cut, doesn't matter. As long as you season up the fries and make the meat the same way in the sauce, it's perfect. You know, so this is awesome. So I am going to enjoy my, I guess, dinner, because there's a lot of stuff here to eat anyway. So if you enjoyed this video, if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on the video. Thanks for watching, and peace out.